I'm going to share with you a secret little tip that I find so helpful when I'm stuck for inspiration, and it's such a big motivating force for me. It's so simple, but it's so powerful that it's actually made its way into my book. So I've just been dictating chapter 3 of my new book, and I wanted to share with you, one, what the homework for this chapter is, because it's a strategy I use a lot, and I have talked to other people about this before, so it's not a secret. But I also want to give you another little tip as well that's come out of a couple of conversations I've had today with some of my business coaching clients. So I'll start there. So a couple of my strategies for encouraging people to break down barriers to growth, to clarify what they're wanting to work on, to identify their niche within their business, their ideal client or customer base. I often will ask people to do some journaling around that, and I give them some structure around how to do that journaling. Now, it came up in conversation today that that's not always an easy process, and in fact, when I'm super duper honest, I don't always walk the talk when it comes to journaling. I don't always do it myself. I do it when I'm inspired to do it, but that inspiration doesn't strike me every single day. So what I will often do is I will record my ideas some other way, because sometimes what I find, for me personally, the ideas might be sitting really neatly in my head, but they're not quite coalescing to the point that I can sit down with pen and paper and nut them out clearly. Sometimes I need to talk them out. And in fact, the writing of this book has shown me that I have actually had a whole book sitting in my head. I've just needed to get it out in a way that is efficient, because it's a timely tome, and simple, so that I will actually do it, because the four of us are in the house all trying to work together at the moment. And the way that I'm doing this, cheeky, is I'm using a dictation tool. I'm using Rev, but there's lots of them out there. I have no affiliation with Rev. You can use whatever tool you like, but I use Rev, and I pay for them to transcribe my blurbs. So this book is getting written. I've got a structure that I've written out to my chapters, and I'm sitting down each day with my current chapter that I'm working on, the outline for that chapter in front of me, and then, because I know all these ideas are already in my head, I've been mulling over this book for a long time. It's just that now is the time to get it written. So I'm speaking the chapter into the dictation device. Rev, some magical person at Rev, then transcribes my yabberings, and then I edit the transcription. That's my process for getting my first draft. It's my initial draft, right? That's my process. But I use that same process when I have ideas that I don't feel like I want to sit down and journal them in written form. I need to talk them through. I will do the same thing. I'll use Rev, and I'll either just record it and keep it within the Rev app, or if it's something that I really want to share, I will record it, get the transcription. Lo and behold, there's a blog post done and dusted. I've written many blogs while I'm getting out of the shower, because I've had the idea in the shower. So while I'm getting out of the shower, I've set the app on my phone to record. It's only an audio recording, don't worry. And then I have been able to transcribe, or get transcribed, that whole blog that I've just blurted out of my mouth by the time I've got my lippy on. Winning. So that's how I'm writing the book. That's an idea for you. If you find journaling difficult, it's another way of getting your thoughts out of your head and in a written format if you want them transcribed. It's a really good way to go. I love it. There are cheaper versions than Rev. I think Temi is cheaper, probably owned by the same people, mind you, but cheaper. The cheaper ones obviously will require more editing on your part. Now, here's the homework that's in my book. Well, it's in the draft. It may end up in the printed version, who knows? When you're struggling for motivation, for new ideas in your business, for new ways to communicate with your audience or your community or your customer base, and you really want to just reinvigorate and refresh what you're doing in your business, whether it's on your social media or business ideas, here's something really simple. Look at the community you're in whether it's your local community that you live in or the local community where you work, where your business is based. Have a look at the community that you're in. Look at the main street within your little village. So think micro here. We're talking little village, not shopping centres, not major retailers, not the Burke Street Mall. We're talking Ackland Street, St Kilda, or we're talking other streets whose names I can't remember because I haven't been back in Melbourne very long, but you know the streets I'm talking about, right? Small streets in small villages within your big city. I want you going for a mindful, not wandering aimlessly, but a mindful walk down those streets in the small village. You know those little villages where they've got the little deli and they've got the little bookshop and they've got the little, handcrafted toy shop? Those villages. They're in major cities, right? They're just here, but you often overlook them and go to the shopping centre instead. Stop doing that. We can't do that now anyway because we're on in isolation and we're all shopping local and we're staying home, right? Go for an essential exercise walk to buy some essential supplies down the main little street of your main little local village, your little community, and notice who's open. Notice what communication they've got on their window about how to engage with them as a business. It might be that their doors are shut, but there are other ways to engage with them as a business. It might be that only one of you is allowed in at a time, or 4 of you at a time. It might be that they've got instructions on their window about how to order what you need online and arrange a pickup time. Notice what all the little businesses in your little local village are doing. Take photos, take notes, have conversations with the shopkeepers if you're going in there to get an essential item on your essential walk. Pay attention to what the brave and the bold and the courageous and the innovative are doing in your local community, and then let that percolate. Go buy yourself a coffee while you're getting your essential milk on your essential walk, because then you're going to stay home for the rest of the day. Get yourself a coffee and just sit in your car and think about what all those clever little businesses are doing to communicate with their community, to communicate with the people who are actually fronting up to their brick and mortar store, as the Americans would say, what they're encouraging their community to do online. Are they encouraging them to look at a website? Are they encouraging them to follow them on Instagram? Have a look. And then, this is where your pen and paper is really important, then go and check them out online and see what clever things they're doing on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the rest of the things, okay? Drop them a line and let them know what an inspiration they've been to you as well. Be polite, be thankful, and show your gratitude. It never fails to inspire me when I do that. I never fail to get motivation when I take a mindful walk appreciating what other small businesses are doing. They don't have to be in the same industry as me. In fact, it actually usually isn't the same industry as mine. Have a look what they're doing, notice, pay attention, take notes, use it as an opportunity to get some of your own social media stuff happening, and then let them know how awesome they are. I hope that helps. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.